Listen, my dear people, listen. Whatever you want me to say about Chelsea's defeat to Newcastle, you better start saying it yourself. In fact, the comment section will be open for you to say it. I'd rather not speak about the match, but to speak about the general problem at Chelsea. The problem at Chelsea is not Liam Rosenior. The problem at Chelsea is not the players on the pitch. The problem at Chelsea is the new owners at Chelsea. They are the problem. And I will explain. When these people took over, they started buying players. In fact, all the British media reports, you see that these guys have spent over 1 billion. The question you should ask yourself is, which players did they sign? Out of the 1 billion they spent, which players did they sign? Because as far as I am concerned, no club can do well in this modern football without having to sign top players. As far as you want to compete, or you want to be competing at the highest level, you must sign top players. That is the situation at Manchester City. The reason Arsenal is doing well right now is that Arsenal, they have to shave their policies of grooming players and all that, and they have started buying. Within the last 2, 3, 4 transfer markets, do you know how much Arsenal have spent on players? How about Madrid? How about FC Barcelona? How about Bayern Munich? Despite the fact that they control the economic power and they are the number 1 team in Germany, they still spend money. So for you to get what you want, you have to spend. That is exactly the same thing that is happening at Manchester City. They spend, but they don't just go about spending money on players that is available in the market. They spend money on quality. Take the likes of Jamie Gattins that Chelsea signed. Take so many other players that Chelsea also signed. You'll find out that these players are not top players. In fact, they are not Chelsea standard. Let me put it simply that way. But some of these players command 60 to 65 million pounds. That's a lot of money. If you go to any league in the world, any player you will sign between 60 to 65 to 70 million pounds must be a top player. We're not talking about a cheeky money here. It's a huge amount of money. But Chelsea goes about signing players, both players that are immature and all that, and they are paying high wages, high transfer fees, I meant to say, for these players. At the end of the day, you brought them in. Some of them you sent out on loan and all that. And the team is struggling. You don't have a direct focus on what you want to achieve, what you plan to achieve. Have you been able to build the defense? Like, defense is the priority for Chelsea. Let us build the defense. Buy solid defensive players to man the defense. Have you built the attack? Now let us build the attack. When the opportunity arrived for Chelsea to sign Victor Osimhen, they ignored the opportunity. And they allowed Osimhen to, go to Galatasaray, irrespective of the fact that Chelsea legends like Mikel Obi and Didier Drogba have managed to persuade Osimhen to choose Chelsea, over other suitors. Yet they allowed him to go there. Imagine having Victor Osimhen in this team. He would have brought charisma, he would have brought personality, he would have brought leadership, and most importantly, he would have brought goals to Chelsea. So at Chelsea right now, there is no longer fear factor. When you are playing as a team, there must be players within your team that the opponents fear. That fear factor is no longer at Chelsea. And that is down to the policies, stupid policies of the new owners at the club. So you don't expect me to be coming here week in, week out blaming Liam Rosenior. Liam Rosenior has no business being a Chelsea manager in the first place. I said it from the beginning. Even when some Chelsea fans were trying to hype him because the club wanted to sign him, they were hyping him, and I say, all this hype, you're hyping this guy. This guy is not Chelsea standard though. Yes, a manager can go to a club and if grace favors him, then he can win. That doesn't mean he's a world-class manager. Fortune can smile on someone. And that is the situation with Liam Rosenior. He has never been successful anywhere apart from the fact that he managed Strasbourg. There is something people don't get to understand. Strasbourg is a team that is playing not to get relegated in the French league. You brought a manager that is fighting to stay up from relegation for a team. He is not under any pressure whatsoever. Then you brought him to a team where it is compulsory that team must finish in the top 4, that team must go to Champions League, that team must win a trophy at least in a space of 2 seasons. It's a different pressure, and you expect him to come here and thrive. If your club is that big and that ambitious, you need to go for a manager that is big and ambitious. And I said something earlier when Chelsea was, going after all these petty managers, that if you're hiring a top-class manager, what they will tell you is that they will make demands. this is what I want. This is the areas that need reinforcement. Then he will have to discuss with the board that these are the players I'm looking at. If our objective is to be competitive in the Champions League, to be, competing for the EPL league title and the rest of it, we need to get this kind of players so that we can be able to achieve our objective. And within 1-2 seasons, we can be up there with the very best teams, competing. Look at what Thomas Tuchel did. Frank Lampard was the manager. This guy took the job midway and, steered Chelsea to UEFA Champions League, Super Cup, and even won the Club World Cup. So this is what you get from top managers. They don't make excuses. They challenge themselves. If they are taking any job, they are not taking it because they just want to manage this thing. They are taking the job because they have a responsibility to live up to their own personal expectations, irrespective of the club's ambition. So each and every one of us must understand that Liam Rosenior is not the problem. Because truth be told, he shouldn't be at Chelsea in the first place. Then if you want to talk about who made it possible for him to be here, then you have to look at the board. Todd Bowley and Egbali, the two of them are the major problem of Chelsea. They have come up with these rubbish policies of signing young players that I don't know when they are going to gel, when they are going to become the superstars that they all told us they are going to become. That is the major problem at the club. And they are paying astronomical amounts of money for these same players. Because they signed this player in a 7 years, 8 years contract, people think they have done a smart deal. They would have gone for established players, signed them 4 years contract. And when these players come, they will deliver trophies for the club. They will bring success to the club. Even the commercials will improve. Because if you have top players in your team, then you become among the top teams to be showcased on Sky Sports. And at the end of the season, when they are sharing TV rights money, you find yourself at the top, earning very huge amount of money. How do you think all these things work? If you don't have the stars, if your team is not performing well, how can you be able to make money from TV rights? As in to make huge amount of money. If you have superstars in your team, 3 to 4 stars, then you become a center of attraction. This is common sense. But instead of signing like 2-3 top players, to combine them with the players available at Chelsea, these new owners only went for, petty players. And today Chelsea is struggling. Imagine Chelsea not being in the Champions League. They are going to lose the money they are supposed to make from there. Imagine Chelsea not breaking into top 4. Their TV rights money will be low. Imagine Chelsea not winning any trophy. Where are they going to get? How are they going to get extra money? And Chelsea has been struggling financially because of their breach of the financial fair play rules. So tell me one thing, one policies that these guys has in place that will make Chelsea to be earning huge amount of money to be able to, cover all these financial issues. That is the question you should be asking yourself. So Todd Bowley, the Clear Lake Capitals, they do not have a clue. And as a result, Chelsea is suffering today, not because of Liam Rosenior, but because we have a clueless management. I do like to hear your opinion about this whole situation at Chelsea. Please, the comment section will be open for you to share your thoughts.